Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's edition of Fat Talks. We're so excited to have you here today. My name is Ganyana Shiba Pasi. I'll be your host for today. And we have a very exciting topic that we're going to be discussing. Ethical business, building sustainable success with integrity. We have a very special guest with us in studio today, and I can't wait to introduce him. But before I do that, I would like to remind all of you that we are live on Smart24 TV. So those who are unable to join us on the Twitter space, please log on to Smart24 TV. It's on GoTV and DSTV, and you can catch us there. So without further ado, I would love to introduce our guest for today, Mr. Nitin Arora, the head of marketing at Fine Spinners Uganda. Just allow me to give a brief background of his resume. He has a rich professional journey spanning 25 years in the textile industry. He holds an influential position as the head of marketing at Fine Spinners Uganda. He began his career in textiles over 2 decades ago, and he quickly recognized the importance of sustainability in this sector. Over the years, Nitin has acquired in-depth knowledge and expertise in various facets of the industry, with a particular emphasis on sustainable practices and ethical business conduct. For the past decade, Nitin has been committed to promoting sustainability, source cotton products in East Africa. He, in addition, at his roles at Fine Spinners, he is actively involved in various industry forums, contributing their expertise towards shaping a more sustainable future for the textile industry. Nitin has consistently championed the cause of ethical business practices, influencing stakeholders across the value chain to adopt more responsible behaviors. Wow, what a resume. This is so exciting, Mr. Nitin. You are welcome.
Thank you, Shiva.
Thank you so much for honoring our invite today. And we are so excited and honored to have you here sharing with us on this exciting topic. So just to jump right into it, I'd like you to give us a brief profile on your journey. How did you get to where you are today with Fine Spinners?
Thank you, Shiva, and for giving me this opportunity to,
yes, please.
to put on a forum where I can speak to the entire public.
Yes.
So regarding me, I have a journey, as you mentioned, of around 25 years in textile industry. I'm a textile technocrat by qualification. I've done a BTech textiles, and in last 25 years I worked with various industries, various scales of industries. I worked with manufacturers, I worked with retailers, I worked with bank agencies, and I worked in various continents also. So in Southeast Asia plus Africa is it's my 10th year now in Africa.
Oh,
so
wow.
I really enjoy working in Africa with the
Yes.
sustainable practices which are there. So it has been quite a while, quite a journey.
Wow, that's quite the journey. So are there any key lessons that you've learned throughout this journey?
What I've learned is,
Yes.
when we are in college or in education, the skills that are taught to us.
Yes.
But what I believe, communication is the most important skill which we need to develop, and
Yes.
the leadership skill, how you talk to people, how you engage the people, especially in our industry, which is mostly a human-intensive industry, how you engage them. So skill aren't always, you can always groom your skills. But when it comes to communication, that is where you need to focus on. Communicating the right thing at the right time can do wonders for you. This is a key lesson I've learned, and I want all my viewers and all my audience to understand is that whatever industry they are in, communication is the key.
Communication is key. I like that because, in the where we are today, especially now where you would think that because of all this technology and media and communication has been made so easy, but still people fail to understand that. You'll find maybe you've made an order somewhere and the person doesn't communicate that it's going to be late. Yet it's those little details that actually matter, that make you go a long way. Okay, just jumping into our topic for today, which is ethical leadership and ethical business. Do you think ethical business is crucial in today's world?
See, let me first define what is an ethical business.
Yes.
What's the definition of ethical business?
Yes.
A business is termed to be ethical when it is transparent and honest to its stakeholder, and things are communicated properly to all the people who are, whether it's internal stakeholders or the external stakeholder, which are the consumers, internal
Yes.
and the employees and all. So there is a fairness in the treatment of everybody. There is equality in the treatment. That kind of business is termed to be ethical business. Now, having an ethical business is very critical, very crucial nowadays. There are a number of reasons why. So first of all, from the consumer's point of view, more consumers are flocking to the ethical businesses compared to the non-ethical businesses, because
Okay.
they have a sense of trust toward their business, that what they are showing or what they are committing,
Yes.
especially in this world when people are mostly buying online, they want to buy from an ethical business because they know what they are seeing is what they are getting. So
Yes.
that trust is very important, especially in today's e-commerce world, when people want to purchase everything at a click of a button. So that is one thing. Secondly, I must say that from the consumer expectations are important. Then the second thing I must say is from the employee expectations also. Employees are expecting to be treated more fairly and equally. It's no longer the time of those corporate old times, 18th and 19th century,
Yes.
and people were not people were mistreated, and they were not considered equal ranks and all that. People are now want to be treated as equals. Whether you are a CEO, whether you are an operator in a machine, everybody wants to be treated equally. Okay, so that sense of a high and low is fading away. Everybody needs to be
Yes.
treated equally and fairly.
Yeah.
Okay, I have this skill set. I need to be paid. I need to be treated fairly as per my skill set. If you are a CEO of the company, then you should be treated like the CEO, because you are bringing value on the table, equals of a CEO. So everybody is doing their work. So the value addition is as per their ranks. So that doesn't mean you can't treat a person. You have to treat other person in a different way. Everybody
Yes.
has to be treated fairly and equally. Then after this is done, it is also from the regulatory point of view. We are in textile business. We export to US, we export to Europe, and we are also planning to add other countries portfolio. We are already exporting to Germany and Denmark, and I'm proud to say that we are the only company in Uganda who is exporting textile products to Europe.
Oh, wow.
We are the
That's
only
a
one.
big deal, yes.
So we have been having instances where people have bought goods in Europe, in Germany, and they saw made in Uganda. They were shocked. They came to us. This was made by you. We said yes. So you go all the way. You buy a 25 euro T-shirt, which was
Yes.
made right here next
Right
to
in
next
Uganda,
door to you.
yes.
So entering into those kind of markets, you need to have a regulatory compliance in place. And I'm very proud to say that me and my team, we have worked towards getting regulate all the compliances which are required to get those kind of products out from us to the
Yes.
European market. European markets are very stringent on everything. They want the raw materials to be sustainably sourced. They want the environmental to be taken care of. They want the employees to be taken care of in a fair way. So they want all these things to be in place.
Okay.
And there are agencies around the globe who certify that you are environmentally sustainable.
Yes.
You are doing this in a right manner. You're doing this in a right manner. So we are certified by a company called Cotton Made in Africa, which is based in
Okay.
Germany. So they've certified that our cotton, which we are sourcing, is sustainably
Oh,
sourced. That is one.
Yes, that's very
Now,
good.
To give an example of what sustainable, so I'm going. I'm just
No,
slightly
it's
deviating,
okay.
but
Yes.
what we are doing is what we are doing. So when you are sustainably sourcing, means you are returning back to environment what you are taking. When we are taking cotton from the fields, we are consuming water, we are consuming resources.
Yes.
Correct? But when we grow a product which is not consuming that much, you are giving it back to the environment.
Yes.
So we are not taking too much, which we cannot.
Which you can't give back.
Which can't give back. We are taking
Okay.
very little, which is a requirement, then we
Yes.
bring it back to the environment. So the cyclical nature of fashion is retained.
Oh, okay.
That is how it is. So our business has been, run on ethical means and sustainable means, and we really. So in terms of like I was telling you about compliance and all these things.
Yes.
So these compliance things, they check each and every item. Each and every step of your process is checked out. So
Yes.
we are compliant
That is very
to
good.
all these people. So we are able to export. We bring dollars to the economy. We
Yes.
add value. That's the beauty of being
Being an ethical business, definitely. Because
Yes.
I don't think you would be able to get to get customers or consumers from Europe if you weren't trusted, if they did not trust you.
Absolutely.
And how many companies in Uganda can boast about
Nobody
that?
can.
Yes, so that's something very good that you're doing. I hope our viewers are taking note about the importance of having an ethical run business. You know, so many people shun ethics. You know, they're after the money. They're like, why should we follow the law? Why not bend the rules a bit? But there are gifts, and you can reap from being ethical, from being trustworthy, and Mr. Nitin is taking us through that. Just to build on from what you were saying, you know how people who are starting businesses or who have businesses, most times, of course, money is the goal. We can't beat around the bush, money is the goal. So how does it go beyond profit making? Where do you draw the line, or where do you strike the balance? Because sometimes being ethical also means foregoing certain amounts of money, or big wins, as some people would call them. So do you strike the balance? What do you think?
The answer to this is not very easy, actually. Not very easy, because you have to keep a lot of things in your mind. Okay, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind is the expectation of the investors in the business.
Yes.
So, you know, our business, textile industry in particular, the business that we run, it's a human intensive business. So we need more human beings to run. It's not a machine operative where you press a button and, you know, not like a software.
Yes.
You need human involvement at each and every step. There are a lot of human beings which are with us, who are supporting us, who are working with us. So what really happens is when you are trying to, you know, manage the relationship between these people, profitability, sometimes, you know, you have to understand the profitability is not that much. So you have to understand a relationship between profitability and sustainability.
Okay.
What I normally say, and it is my personal, you know, thing, a business which is sustainable is definitely going to be profitable.
Okay.
But a business which is profitable may or may not be sustainable.
May not be sustainable.
So what that means is that today you are profitable. Tomorrow you may not be profitable.
Yes.
If you don't follow the sustainability. If you are just taking from the and you're not giving it back, there is no corporate social responsibility, you will not be profitable. Maybe at high, but again you will go down.
Yes.
But sustainable business and ethical business is always profitable, because it is made of people who are thinking towards your company, who think the goal is to make profit for the company, who all work towards one goal,
yes,
sustainability, and making it ethical. When you know, people normally say, okay, customer is the main, you need to focus on the customer, but I say
yes,
it otherwise. I say focus on your employees. If your employees are treated in a fair manner, if you're treating them ethically, you're treating them in a wise manner, you're communicating to them properly, and that's the importance of communication.
Yes.
They will treat your clients well. Business will come back to you. You will be profitable.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so that's how it should be.
Yes, so employees are happy, they'll definitely run the business well, and they'll run it according to the values that we've instilled in them. That's a good one. And sustainability, I hope our audience is listening. Sustainability before profitability, to make your business thrive. So I'll just cut this short just to remind everyone that we are live on Smart 24 TV. And maybe for those viewers who are watching live at home on TV, we are also live on Twitter under the handle Fidelis Leadership Institute. So if you feel like you want to share your views or you have any comments, you can just log on to Twitter and type in your comments. And this is also to remind our audience on Twitter, please feel free to ask any questions. If you have any questions for Mr. Nitin on how to build a sustainable, successful business with integrity. So, Mr. Nitin, there's a game that we play here.
Okay.
And we call it One Truth and Two Lies. So you are going to tell us 3 statements about yourself, 1 of which is true, and 2 are going to be lies. And our audience on Twitter will have to guess which one is the truth.
Oh, wow.
So I'll give you some time to think about it, and when you're ready, you can just let us know.
So,
Yes.
I can say that, you know, I was born in South America.
Born in South America, okay.
I have been in Africa for almost 8 years now, and I met Tom Cruise very recently on his latest premiere for Mission Impossible, very recently in US, during the US trip. So
those are nice ones.
So you can.
Okay, so just to reiterate for our audience on Twitter, which of these three statements is true about our guest today, Mr. Nitin? One, was he born in South America? Two, has he lived in Africa for over 8 years? Has he lived in Africa for over 8 years? And three, this one is interesting, he recently met Tom Cruise at his recent premiere for the new Mission Impossible movie. So yes, we're going to have a poll running in the Twitter comments. So I urge our viewers on Twitter to vote and let us know what they think. Which of those three statements is true about Mr. Nitin? And he'll let us know the truth at the end of the interview.
Sure.
Yes, so just to dive right back in, can you tell us some examples of a successful ethical business, in your opinion?
So like us, for example, I can give an example of us only to start with.
Yes.
So we started our journey in 2014 as Fine Spinners Uganda Limited. We initially, we started with a very small infrastructure of textile machineries, which we wanted to grow and we want to export it. We wanted to, export to European countries. Our first shipment was flagged by Muzi. So he is the one. There are pictures all over the internet. You can Google and find out.
Definitely. Maybe we should have our tech team put that picture up in the comments.
Yes. So that was there. So what happened was, then we started doing things in a proper manner.
Yes.
When we started being compliant to European norms, businesses, you don't have to go and chase businesses. People approached you because the cotton in Africa, I might say it is one of the best cottons in Uganda from experience.
Wow.
So if you go to anybody and you Google which is the best cotton in the whole world, they will say Egyptian cotton. Egyptian cotton is surviving because of River Nile. And where does River Nile originate?
Uganda, definitely.
So Ugandan cotton has one of the best features in terms of textiles. It's one of the best.
Yes.
That means you can grow one of the best cottons in the world with so much of resources around you, which is not found anywhere else in the world. So adding value was a sensible step in Uganda. You add value to the cotton which is grown over here.
Yes.
So when you add value, you need to follow some regulatory compliance. So we made proper attendance record. We filled NSSF, pay, all those things. We ensured that whatever compliance are required from the employee side, whatever compliance are required from the environmental side. For example, all our energy sources are hydrocarbon based, which means zero carbon footprint. So that is something very interesting. And then if you buy a t-shirt from anywhere else in the world, a normal t-shirt consumes around 40 liters of water. Us, we do 1 liter. Imagine when you buy a t-shirt from us, you save enough water for one person for 1 week.
Yes, definitely. Nice.
Imagine when you buy one t-shirt, you save water for full 1 week for somebody.
Yes.
So that's the whole idea. So this is the, when you incorporate these small practices into your business grows. And I'm happy to say that our business has actually grown to almost 5 times to where we started in 2014. All because of following this practice.
Yes.
These practices you can't just follow now and forget about them. You have to make sure every day we wake up, you make sure the things are in place as per the compliance norms.
Yes.
Every day.
So consistency.
And audits are there, and they're surprise audits. People come and visit you and they have passed us.
Oh wow.
So that means people are taking care of the compliance and regulatory processes every day, every waking day they're doing it.
Okay, so
that's how successful business run.
Nice. So
I give you a negative example also. Sorry, I'm cutting short.
No, please go ahead.
So there's a brand called Boohoo. Boohoo is based in, you might have heard of it.
Yes, I've heard of Boohoo.
So Boohoo brand, it was sourcing from various countries. I will not name the country, but from one of the countries, it had unfair labor practices. People were not paid on time. They had issues in terms of wage payments. They were not treated. There were long working hours. All those things were there. But when people got to know that there are unfair labor practices, the business got hit. The shares fell down by 25% in 1 day.
People were boycotting it. Yes.
So those are the disadvantages. So we don't want to get caught in those. We want to be ethical. We want to do things in a proper way.
Yes.
So the business grows and everybody grows with us. Because if we grow, we are currently employing 1,600 people. There will be more people we can grow. We will add more people.
Yes.
So that's the advantage.
All right, I love that.
Yes.
Just to reiterate for our viewers and our audience on Twitter, we are talking about the best practices that an ethical business can have. And our guest today, Mr. Nitin, has mentioned that they need to have practices that add value to the community, not only to the community, but also to the environment. And on top of that, they have to be compliant. Are you compliant with the regulations? Are you compliant with the laws around you? How are you treating your workers? You know, there are labor laws. And is your company compliant with that? It's the little things that matter. And consistency. Don't just be compliant for the sake, because you know today the auditors are coming, so this week you're compliant and you try to get all your ducks in a row. But be consistent with your practices. Make sure this is a culture that you build in your company, to make sure that you maintain those practices, you maintain that value addition, to make sure that it grows. Thank you so much for those tips. I will have our tech team on Twitter just write those tips down in the comment section so that our viewers can get to see. And moving on, how do you think a business can balance short-term profitability with long-term sustainability and social responsibility? I think you had touched on it a bit, but maybe if you can expound.
It's not easy to manage. Honestly,
Yes.
it's not easy to manage. But when you see when you work within a framework, which is the regulatory framework which your buyers have put you in, ultimately you see you are profitable.
Yes.
So definitely short-term profitability is not there, because all of this is a cost. Everything you do for them is a cost to you. It will not yield you immediate profit. You will not get immediate orders because of that. But when you run long-term, when you see it over a horizon of 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, you ultimately run a profit because more orders are coming your way.
Yes.
And maintaining that kind of ethics, maintaining that kind of regulatory frameworks is something not easy to do, because what that means is you have to teach. The staff keeps on changing every year,
Yes.
every year or so. You have to keep training.
Yes.
You have to keep engaging. You have to keep communicating. There have to be forms. There have to be posters. You have to keep training. All these things is an everyday process.
Yes.
So it doesn't just happen. You can't just expect, like you rightly said, audit to walk in and find everything in order.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Okay, so you say just constantly working on it.
We have to work on it every day. So we have
Okay.
dedicated teams who are actually working on it every day, monitoring. They have their own checklists which they check every day. These are in place. They see wherever there is a need of training, they will train people every day. So those are the things.
Okay, so would you say your company has a designated team towards compliance?
Yes, yes.
And I don't think many companies have that actually.
Not that I know of.
Yes, because maybe most of them would think legal would handle it. But I think a specialized team that's just dedicated to making sure that
Absolutely.
the company is compliant and always ready for any of those checkups would be very necessary. Okay, so how do you think businesses can engage stakeholders, including customers, employees, communities, in ethical decision making?
So there are a number of ways in which you can engage your consumers, all the stakeholders. I don't call them consumers or employees. I call them stakeholders. Everybody has a stake in the business.
Yes.
Internal and external.
Yes.
Internal stakeholders are your employees. External are your consumers. Right? These are all stakeholders in the business, because without any of them, business will not work.
Yes.
So the right way to do is that we do continuous surveys and feedback. So our buyers, they send us feedback forms and everything, and we fill them up to see where we are going. Internal also, we ask questions to them, we invite them, we talk to them, and we understand what's going on. Then there are open forum meetings where you are called, and that's something which I have learned being in Africa, and I must appreciate.
Yes.
I've not seen that kind of openness and communication, where I'm from. So the point is that everybody is called to a certain town hall or a meeting.
Okay.
Everybody is given an opportunity to speak up. Okay, you tell your issues. What are your concerns? What do you understand out of this?
Yes.
We give our points. These are the points that we want to discuss. This is what we are planning to do. What is your feedback? There's an
Yes.
openness and transparency, which is the very, very basic step of any ethics. In any relationship, be it a personal or a professional one, openness and communication is must. If you don't talk, people will not know what's going on in your mind.
Yes.
So that engagement, I'm very happy to say that we do it all the time. We call people, if they are in a manufacturing setup, And I must say the world's biggest factory, let's say it's Tesla. Tesla also has these issues.
Yes.
I heard of an issue where they had a USB missing which was connecting two wires to the bottom.
Wow.
And they didn't, for one day the production was held up because that USB they could not source on time.
Wow.
So even those kind of, so
Yes.
obviously we are not saying that we don't have issues.
Yes.
We have issues. We sort them out. We discuss how to sort them out. Even it's a technical problem or be it a personal problem.
Yes.
People we engage, we talk, we sit on across the table, we call them all in a forum. We see what is the best way to do it. It's called brainstorming. Or as I love to say, wisdom of the crowds.
Wisdom of the crowd. That's a good one.
The number that the book I always quote.
Yes.
And it is the best wisdom always.
Oh, okay.
So we move a step forward. We don't take two step backward. We move a step forward.
As long as you're keeping it moving.
Engaged, yeah.
Yes.
So that engagement is there. Then we also have internally we have ethics committee. We also have you can talk to these people in case you feel that I'm not comfortable talking to my supervisors. I feel something is ethically not right. So apart from HR, there are people you can just reach out to. You can talk. I'm on one of the committees.
Oh, okay.
So people can reach out to me and they tell, okay, I'm facing this problem.
Yes.
This is not ethical. Even business practice or whatever issues are. So those are the things.
Okay.
So those are the critical things.
I like that you mentioned that. You've mentioned something about an ethical committee. That this is the first I'm hearing of it. I don't think I've heard of any companies having an ethical committee. So just can you expound on that a little bit on what exactly
ethical committees, basically we have a small group of people which is comprising of the HODs.
Okay.
So if there's an issue related to interdepartmental or between the professionals, so we engage that team. That team sits, all the issues are brought to the front of that team and they take a decision whether what is being done is ethical, non-ethical. And the same is communicated to the to the investors into the business. They are communicating, okay, we have spoken to people, this is what we feel is ethical, let's do it.
Oh, wow.
There have been instances where people have done something which is right but not ethical. There are two different things.
Yes.
Which is right but not ethical. So, and ethical, because sometimes ethical being difficult, people say, okay, let me not do it, let me do it because anyway it is right. So no, then we say no, you have to do it right and you have to do it ethically also. So interest should be taken care of. Okay,
that's a nice concept. I think that's something that most businesses and companies should think about, setting up an ethical committee. I am aware that most Ugandan businesses, I can say, don't have that. And
they have to have it.
Yes, I'm speaking as a lawyer because I've interacted with many businesses, and that's something that I have rarely come across. So I commend your company for that. Just to pause on that, I just want to remind everyone watching on Twitter and on Smart24 TV that we have a poll running. Which three statements are true about our guest today, Mr. Nitin? Was he born in South America? Has he spent 8 years in Africa? Or did he meet Tom Cruise recently at his premiere of the new Mission Impossible movie? So those on Twitter, kindly vote. Let us know what you think. I don't know if the poll is running yet.
Yes, absolutely.
It's running. I just want to see what people have voted on so far. As we wait for the tech team to generate the poll, I would also like to remind our audience that we are taking in questions. If you have any questions for Mr. Nitin, please type them into our comment section and we shall read them and have Mr. Nitin answer them for you. So just to remind you guys, please vote. The poll is up, it's running. We can't wait to hear what the answer is. And yes, let's continue with the interview. So you talked a lot about communication. I think it's something that you've been stressing throughout the whole interview. And I just want you to expound on that, especially with your background and you being the head of marketing. So I know you deal with a lot of brand, protecting the brand of a company. How would you advise a company to communicate? How, for example, Fine Spinners, how do you communicate your brand, that your brand is ethical?
So In the brand, any kind of brand, you can't build a brand without a trust.
Yes, definitely.
So when a customer reaches out to us, and they know us by our name. They don't, the brand is there. When you talk to,
Speaks for itself.
the market, I go to the market all the time and I hear, okay, I need spinners. So that's something which I feel very happy about. I need spinners. I need spinners.
So it precedes you even before
Yes,
you
it precedes
enter.
us. So why it is there? Because when people ask about what in fact, I will relate an incident from yesterday. So I was meeting a customer, a big customer of mine, and she said, Nitin, do you know what I'm wearing? I said, no, I'm wearing your product.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow, madam, thank you so much for it. So it was like very exciting. I was, communicating to her about some improvements which you are making in product. He said, I'm still wearing your product. You can improve it further, but I'm still liking it. I wear it every day.
Yes.
Same goes, these things. When people talk about our brand, automatically they have a certain trust that it is comfortable, it is coming from a sustainable source.
Yes.
And I continuously tell people about it, I educate people. My sales team is always educated what we are doing, what other businesses are not doing.
Yes.
So it is communicated to sales team, and that is what they communicate to the customer, and they see it in practice. Because when the people visit a factory all the time, they see what we are not just, it's not just words, it's action. They see that we are using hydrocarbon sources of energy. It is there. The certificates are there, the measures are there, the monitoring is happening.
Yes.
So they have a trust that what we are buying is actually having a whole sustainable, practices going behind it.
Oh, yes.
So they have in their mind, and that's a brand they have. So the moment they speak of spinner, they say, okay, spinners is associated with comfort. They know it's comfortable. They know they can wear it day in, day out.
Yes.
They know if they are going out to meet a friend or a casual evening, they know that's the product to go to.
They know that's the product.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just about communicating to people your brand, but live your brand.
Living, that's the main important. You have to live what you speak. Action speaks louder. People visit. Sometimes they are saying, okay, why are you doing this? We are doing it because we have committed to ourselves to environment. We are committing to have a very less carbon footprint. So that's what we are doing every day.
Oh, nice. I like that. And I can also vouch for fine spinners for our audience, because we did purchase lovely Fidelis leadership t-shirts from your company, and I can attest that they have very good material. So any of the viewers watching who want to purchase t-shirts or material, I would recommend Fine Spinners.
Thank you so much.
Your brand really does precede you. So just reminding our audience that we do have a poll running, 3 truths, 1 lie. Which of these 3 statements is true about our guest today? Is he from South America? Has he lived in Africa for 8 years? Or did he recently meet Tom Cruise at the premiere of his Mission Impossible movie? So I don't know if the tech team can put the poll up, and we can see how people have voted. We'll give it a minute. I'd also like to remind our viewers that if you have any questions about building a sustainable business, with an ethical sustainable business, please type in your question, or if you would prefer to speak, just request and we shall give you the right to speak on our Twitter space. So as we wait for the poll to run, I can move on to my next question. What steps could you give entrepreneurs and startups to take up embedded ethical practices from the early stages of their business? How can they start? Because you know how businesses start, especially I've seen this with my peers as well. These are things they don't think about. Like, they want to start a business and they're like, for us we want, money, where the money is at, how will we start making money? They don't even think about ethical practices. So what steps would you recommend?
So the first step is to have a strategic planning in place. So when you are planning your business, you incorporate these practices into your business model.
Okay.
You should know that you have to allocate some resources towards building that business ethically. That means it starts from the stage of consumers' expectations.
Yes.
You understand what your consumers expect from you, build that into your business model, plus also see that your employees are treated fairly. They're treated equally, and they're not complaining and all those things. So when they're being treated fairly, the consumers are happy, and it is within the regulatory frameworks which are required by the laws of the land. Every country has their own laws of the land. So as they should be built into every business model when you are doing it. So that's a starting point. Don't just include cost and a selling price. That's the difference. That's what I need to focus on. You have to factor those things in, and they will not yield profit immediately. They must understand the profit will take some time to come. It will be like, it could take even a year to come. They have to be patient on that one.
Yes.
But the point is, the business will stay for long. You are not opening a fly-by-night shop where you are just opening, you're selling, and you close and you go somewhere else. That's not the. In case you are here to stay long term, you are here to scale your businesses, you have to build that into those models, into those frameworks into your business model. They have to be there. There are a lot of strategic frameworks which are available online. You can consult people who are trained to do that based on your type of business, because in the food industry the regulatory compliance will be different than what is in the textile industry. So those have to be considered. Then the second thing is that, again, I come back to the same thing. You have to communicate to your stakeholders, internal, external. What are they expecting? What are their expectations in terms of ethics? What is the way to run it ethically, so that you're not stepping on somebody's toe. Those in crude words. That's very crude way of saying it, but you have to be careful, because if you are non-compliant, sooner or later the regulatory authorities will catch up with you.
That's true.
And then you will be in shambles. You will not be able to make money. What is the point of running that kind of business? You will be disreputed, discredited. You cannot operate like that.
Definitely not.
And you cannot expect people to believe you nowadays. People are all over. Social media has an omnipresence. Anything you do wrong is just blows up.
Just one tweet can.
So better do things the right way, not in a profitable way, but better do things in a right and ethical way. Don't do anything which is not within the framework. I know it will cost. Build and understand that into your cost.
Yes. Okay, I like that. So for our viewers, we are just learning the steps that entrepreneurs can take when building an ethical business. And Mr. Nitin has mentioned that the first thing you should do is, build ethical practices for your business, and make sure you treat your employees fairly. That's something that is usually overlooked, because some companies really focus on the profit, the profit bit, and as you mentioned, the customer is always right, so they may ignore how the employee feels. But at the end of the day, I think the employees make the company. They can make or break the company. So make sure they are treated fairly. Uganda does have labor laws. So are you following? Is your business compliant with the labor laws in Uganda? And know the laws of the land. Make your research. If you're in the textile industry, what body governs the textile industry? If you're in the food industry, what body governs the food industry? And also communicate. Mr. Nitin has stressed communication. It is vital, not only to the customers, but to the stakeholders too, who have a share and a cut in the business. They need to know what is going on. So I would just like to remind our viewers that we have a poll running. I would just like to look at the poll and see how people have voted. Yes. Okay, wow. All right, so 75% of the people think you've been to Africa. You've been in Africa for 8 years.
That's good.
And 9% believe that you were born in South America.
0%.
And 25% think you met Tom Cruise. People don't think you met Tom Cruise, Mr. Nitin.
They don't trust me.
They don't trust you.
Okay.
I don't know, our viewers. You don't think that our guest met Tom Cruise? I don't know. I think I would vote the Tom Cruise one.
Yeah.
That's where my vote is. So I'll just give our audience more time to vote. Which of those three statements do you think is true about our guest today? Has he lived in Africa for 8 years? Was he born in South America? Or has he recently met Tom Cruise? Please put your votes in. We are about to end the space and we shall find out the answer soon. I'll give the rest of the audience some time to vote, and we'll let you know which one is the correct answer. I would also like to remind anyone who has any questions, to kindly type in your questions, or if you feel like you would like to speak, let us know. Just request space and we'll give you permission before we end the space. So, Mr. Nitin, do you have any last words, any advice that you can give to, especially given your background in marketing, because I feel like we haven't focused so much on the marketing bit of it, but any advice that you can give to people in business and helping their business thrive?
I would love to say that, Uganda is a land of opportunities.
Yes.
And if you have the right kind of product and the right kind of marketing skills, you can definitely thrive in this place. And opportunities are there. And before you become an entrepreneur, you should become a salesman. Oh. Unless you are able to sell, there is no point of, that's the number one skill which is required for all entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They should be able to sell themselves. Unless they are not able to sell their product, there is no point of even starting a business.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, the moment your product is out there in the market, communication is the key. That will hold your business together. Skills you can have. Skills you can learn. You can have people who have those skills. But communication from your side is the key. So you need to manage that.
Okay, thank you so much. And could you just let us know, let our viewers and audience know more about Fine Spinners, especially those who may want to purchase any products from your company? How can they get in contact with you or with the company?
So Fine Spinner is a vertically integrated textile company based in Kampala, Uganda, and we are living the word that Muzi had said, buy Uganda, build Uganda. So we are actually we are Bubu, yeah.
Yes.
So we are completely in Bubu. We source cotton from Uganda, from the heart, from western northern Uganda. We convert them into yarn, we convert them into fabrics, and then later on convert them into garments. So we can provide yarn, we can provide fabrics, we can provide garments, any kind of apparels, any kind of product which needs apparels, we can provide in our factory, and all done in front of you. Don't have to think this is coming there, there's no,
yes.
Everything in front of you. What does that mean? That we can do anything you need. We are ready to service you, we are able to do it faster, and you don't have to rely on China or India to supply your goods. Don't go outside, spend your money in Uganda, build yourself, build yes. Uganda. That's what my only request is. And in terms of apparel textile, we are self-sufficient, we can do any product, anything that the market needs. In terms of the size of the market, it's around 200 million markets per annum, that's a consumption.
Oh wow,
that's a big number. We are not even dipping our toe in it. We are just 15%. Oh, wow. All the textile companies together 15%. There is an 85% space. People, please come, buy from Ugandan factories. Don't go outside. Yes. That's what I can say. Don't go outside. There is no need. You will go to US, you will buy a made in Uganda product, then you will come back. So what is that point?
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
All right. Thank you for that. I hope our audience has heard. Build Uganda, buy Uganda. Please purchase from Fine Spinners. They make their cotton and textiles right here from Uganda. There is no point in you going all the way abroad to buy your textiles when we have a very capable company. Actually, those companies abroad, they actually get their products from Fine Spinners. So build Uganda, buy Uganda, contact Fine Spinners. Our tech team will leave their address and telephone number and email in the Twitter description below. So for anyone who wants to contact them about business, you can read the description in the comments. So I think we are about to close, and I would like Mr. Nitin to tell us which of those 3 statements is true. There were 3 statements. One, is he born in South America, or has he lived in Africa for 8 years, or did he recently meet Tom Cruise? So Mr. Nitin, you can tell us.
I think most people have gone with the right statement. So I've been in Africa for 8 years now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's growing. Majority is saying like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so our crowd could gauge you.
Yeah, people are able to gauge. So yes. I can't lie. That's a very basic of ethics. I can't lie. Yeah,
so the true statement is he has lived in Africa for 8 years. So I guess I was wrong, because I was really going for the Tom Cruise one.
One day, sure.
One day, sure. Yes. Yes. So thank you so much, Mr. Nitin, for honoring us with your presence today. We have had a very insightful discussion, and I'm sure our viewers appreciate back at home and on Twitter. For those who've missed and who are just joining us right now, you can catch the recording of the space on our Twitter handle at Fidelis Leadership Institute. We always post the recording of the space. And those who would want to watch the visuals, you can catch the video on our YouTube channel, Fidelis Leadership Institute, or on the Smart TV YouTube channel. So before we close, I would just like to remind our audience that the Fidelis Leadership Institute is running a leadership training program. This is going to be a 16-week training program starting on the 1st of July up to the 27th of October. So the applications are open. Those who are interested in bettering themselves, self-development, learning about public speaking, how to manage your finances, how to be a better and ethical leader, please sign up. You can log onto our website to get the application form, or you can check the Fidelis Leadership Institute Twitter handle to get a link to the website that will connect you to the application form. We can't wait to train you. This is a very, very, very great program, and I urge everyone to apply. So once again, Mr. Nitin, thank you so much for honoring our invitation, and we would love to have you again back on our...
Thank you so much, Eva. It was nice.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, our viewers, and we'll see you next Thursday.